Welcome back to another video. So today we're going to be going over the 10 best class setups that you need to be using in Season 2. Now in Season 2, there are some weapons that people are using over the others, and there's for a good reason for that. Before we get into the video, if this is the kind of content you want to continue to see, make sure to drop a like on the video. I'd really appreciate it. If you are new to the channel and you're looking for class setups over this weekend, make sure to subscribe so you can make your way back to the channel. Let's just get into it. So this isn't in any particular order. And one last thing, a lot of my perks, equipment, etc., they're all going to be the same thing, and some of these attachments are going to be the same as well, because unfortunately Cold War, there's not really too much going on as far as customization goes. So I'm gonna only talk about it once, so you better pay attention, because further along the video I'm not gonna bring it up again, so that this video doesn't end up being way too long. So this is the FFAR1, aka the FAMAS. This one has a really high fire rate but lots of recoil, but that's okay because we've got the right attachments to make it a quote-unquote no recoil setup. One of my personal favorites. It kills people really fast, and this is great for mid-range combat. So for the optic, I am running with the Microflex LED, just a personal preference. I just really like the way the sights look when I'm looking through it. It just helps me get a much more accurate shot. Muzzle is going to be the 𝗧𝗨𝗥𝗕𝗦. So like I said earlier, this gun naturally has a lot of recoil, so in order to mitigate that, we do want to put on attachments that do help out with recoil. So that is going to be the 𝗧𝗨𝗥𝗕𝗦 with that 17% vertical recoil control, and it also does come with a little nice bonus of that muzzle flash concealment. So what that is that when you're firing your weapon, you're not going to be really shown on the enemy mini-map, and they won't be able to find you. It will show up in a really quick split second, but it's a really quick flash. It doesn't show as long as it would without you running a suppressor on it. All right, so for the barrel, we are using the 21.2-inch Ranger barrel for 100% bullet velocity. Now this is the most optimized that you could run this class setup. Let me show you why. So that 1250 meters per second 100% bullet velocity is pretty much what makes this thing a beam. If you have a weapon with very low bullet velocity, you're gonna have to lead your shots at opponents who are at much longer range. So obviously you're gonna get a lot of hit markers, your shots aren't gonna hit, there's bullet drop off. But if you have something like an attachment that increases that bullet velocity, once you point at your target, you shoot, it's gonna hit instantly, and that's exactly what we want, so that you can kill your opponents much faster. All right, so for the body, we're running with a soft target designator for that 60% reveal distance. This just helps you see enemies, because let's be real, man, some of these map designs, it makes it really hard to see enemies, and with this it'll show you a red dot above where the enemy is actually at. And also it just helps you decide which areas of the map you want to push, helps you make educated decisions on what lanes to take and what not. All right, so for underbarrel, we're running with the field agent grip. Like I said, there is pretty significant amount of recoil on the gun without attachments, so you do want to have the field agent grip for the best bang for your buck in order to control that recoil. Magazine is going to be the Salvo 44 round fast mag. It has a very fast fire rate, so when you're engaging in gunfights, you are going to be running out of ammo really quickly. Handle is going to be the airborne elastic wrap. Stock is going to be the Raider stock for sprint to fire time and aim walking movement speed. Stim shot, Molotov. Now let me talk really quick about Molotov. Molotov is really great, because it's something I've been experimenting with, and it's been working out really well. Is where if you see an opponent, right, you throw it at his direction, this is going to naturally push your opponent to go into the opposite direction, and then your cue should be to ADS or aim down sight in that direction that you believe the opponent's going to go into. So in a way, you kind of have control over the situation, because you're pretty much using a strategy to get the opponent to go in a way that you want them to go to, and it's going to lead to an easy kill. Or you can just block off an area to force your opponents to go a certain way, and you can kill them at that choke point. Now for field upgrade, I am using gas mine. This is something that I've also been experimenting with. This is really helpful. It does get you kills, especially when you're playing objective game modes, or you put it in a very tight narrow area where opponents are going to be passing by. You could get multiple kills at a time, or you can get them stuck, and you can also be notified if there's an opponent there. Then you can rush to that area and kill them off. Perks are going to be flak jacket, scavenger, and ninja. Now really quick, let's go ahead and put a 6 perk setup here for those who want a 5 attachment setup. And keep in mind, most of these attachments that I am going to remove are going to be the same moving forward throughout the video, so please pay attention here. So in most situations, I would definitely take off the sight, because on most of the guns in Cold War, the iron sights are bearable. It's not really that bad. So let's go ahead and take off the sight. Then the next thing you could takeoff that's not really needed, that doesn't affect your gun's performance, is the target designator. And the next attachment is the Raider stock. You can remove the Raider stock, it'll be just fine. This is a pretty solid 5 attachment setup for the FAMAS. Like I said, moving down earlier down the line, this is probably going to be the same case for the other weapons. For 6 perks, I do recommend Flak Jacket, Tac Mask, and you can run Scavenger and then something else, whatever you prefer. For this part, you're going to put Ninja and Ghost. All right, next class setup, we are running with the AK-47, a very, very good weapon in my opinion. So let's go over this really quickly. So for the optic, there is no optic. You know, if you're running an optic on your AK-47, you're just doing it wrong. You know, over the years in Call of Duty, no one's ever really used an optic. The main reason why is because the iron sights are absolutely amazing. But if you want to run an optic, you know, that's up to you. You can use whatever you want. Muzzle is going to be the 𝗧𝗠𝗏 compensator. Now for the barrel, we're running with the Liberator barrel. So this one's giving us, again, 100% bullet velocity. So the bullet velocity is 980 meters per second. Obviously, that's really good. You want something that's close to 1,000 as much as possible. Now, another second option you can use is the VDV Reinforced. It gives you the best of both worlds here. Effective damage range as well as bullet velocity. Now keep in mind, the bullet velocity is not going to be that great, so when you're trying to challenge people at long range, you're not really going to get those instant shots that I was just previously talking about. So if you're going to use this attachment, you want to play as up close and personal as possible. That way you don't have to deal with hit markers. But for the most part, VDV or Liberator, definitely my choices. For the body, we're using the target designator. Underbarrel is going to be the 𝗧𝗠𝗏 speed grip. Now AK-47, it has some recoil to it, but not too much. You can use 𝗧𝗠𝗏 grip if you want to, if you have a hard time controlling recoil, but 𝗧𝗠𝗏 speed grip is definitely enough to get the job done. And at the same time, you do get that bonus of sprinting move speed. You know, you can run around the map a lot faster with very minimal cons, as you can see there. Magazine is going to be the 40 round. Now this is essentially optional. You can use whatever you want. If you want the fastest snap on your aim, definitely go with the 40 round or go with the 𝗧𝗠𝗥𝗕𝗢𝗠𝗦. Can't go wrong there. But if your aim is not that good, I definitely recommend rolling with something like a 50 round fast mag, but keep in mind your ADS is not going to be as fast. Handle is going to be the 𝗧𝗠 elastic wrap. Stock is going to be the KGB skeletal stock. Now for the next class setup, we are running with the M16. Now this is a heavy hitter in my opinion. Like, this is really great for long range engagements. You know, don't go running around the map trying to run and gun with this gun right here, or you're just gonna get frustrated. This is meant for medium to long range. Now this thing is very deadly, super deadly. You can one burst people with it. So for the optic, I'm running with the 𝗧𝗏𝗏𝗧𝗏. Now, you know, this is personal preference. You can use whatever sight you want to. You know, the reason why I'm running with the 𝗧𝗏𝗏𝗧𝗏 is because I'm just kind of experimenting with other sights here. You know, as the life cycle of the game moves on, I do want to try new things to keep the game fresh for me, but you know, you can use whatever sight you're comfortable with here. Muzzle is going to be the infantry compensator for that vertical recoil control. Barrel is going to be the task force barrel. Now this is crazy because the damage, it actually does something. This is one of the very rare attachments that actually does increase your damage. Now if you take a look at the damage here, it gets increased to 57 from 50, so that's a pretty significant jump there. So you will see an improvement in your damage profile when you're trying to get into a gunfight. And also the bullet velocity is still amazing, 1087 meters per second. That is really good. That's why I do recommend using this task force barrel. For the body, we're using the soft target designator. Underbarrel is going to be the field agent grip. Magazine is going to be the 45 round. You know, like I said, you could use whatever you want. Handle is going to be the serpent wrap. Stock is going to be the Raider pad. This is definitely one of my favorites for sure. I'm really a big fan of the Krig. This is the Krig 6. And this thing is it just helps me win a lot of gunfights at medium to long range. It's a laser beam. There's literally no recoil at all. That's why pros do use this gun in Call of Duty League. So it's very reliable at long range. Optic is going to be the Microflex LED. Muzzle is the infantry compensator. Barrel is going to be the 19.7 inch Ranger. Let me show you something really interesting here. This bullet velocity is amazing, 1250 meters per second. That is why it is a very reliable long-range weapon. Body is the soft target designator. Underbarrel is going to be the SFOD speed grip. And magazine is going to be the SAS mag clamp. You know, you can use whatever you want, you know, for this magazine part. You know, moving forward, that is what it will be. You can't go wrong with any of these attachments here. Handle is going to be the serpent wrap. Stock is going to be the no stock attachment. All right, moving on to the next class setup, the infamous MAC-10. You know, I'm very surprised that they did not nerf the MAC-10 at all in Season 2. So that's why I got to include it in the top 10 best class setups that you should be using this season. So muzzle is going to be the infantry compensator for that vertical recoil control. Now, MAC-10, if you have ever used it before, it has a lot of recoil, so it could be very frustrating to use for some people. So that's why you got to use attachments that do control recoil. Barrel is going to be the 5.3-inch Ranger barrel. So the bullet velocity is not that great. It's literally only 400 meters per second. So that means that anything beyond medium to long range, you're going to have a hard time hitting your shots. So it is highly advised to use this up close and personal. This is meant for rushing, up close engagements only. So the Ranger barrel is going to give you your best bang for your buck for that 100% bullet velocity. There are other attachments here like the Task Force barrel. Some people will tell you that the Task Force barrel is great, but in my opinion, it's probably a placebo effect because, you know, the damage goes from 27 to 28. That's literally nothing. You're still going to get the same amount of shots. And also the bullet velocity is not as great. Effective damage range, yeah, maybe 3 meters is a good improvement. But if you take a look, the recoil control is absolutely atrocious. You know, why would you want all of that firepower to sacrifice your accuracy? Like that literally makes no sense to me. Now, body is going to be the soft target designator. Underbarrel is going to be the field agent grip. And magazine is going to be the salvo 53 round fast mag. Now, this one is, you definitely need this in my opinion, because it has a very fast fire rate. So you are going to run out of bullets very quickly, similar to the FAMAS setup that I just showed you. You do want to have as much ammo as possible. Handle is going to be the airborne elastic wrap, and stock is going to be the no stock attachment. All right, so it just occurred to me that I forgot to let you guys know what attachments not to use to run a 5 attachment setup. So it's basically the same thing. Remove the optic, you can remove the body, and then you can remove the stock, and then voila, you have your 5 attachment setup. So just keep that in mind, mental note, as we move on here. All right, next setup here, we've got the XM4, another heavy hitter, very reliable at medium to long range. One of my personal favorites as well for ARs. Optic, I'm going with the Microflex LED. Muzzle is the infantry compensator. Barrel is the 13.7-inch Ranger barrel. Once again, man, that bullet velocity is amazing. Body is going to be the soft target designator. Underbarrel is the field agent grip. Magazine is the 40 round. Handle is the serpent wrap. Stock is going to be the buffer tube. Now again, magazine is optional, and just to go over it again, if you're going to run a 5 attachment setup, remove the stock, remove the body, and then remove the optic. Voila, there it is. So we're getting to the good stuff here. As you can tell here, we got the Bullfrog, man. The Bullfrog, aka the Ribbit. One of my favorite SMGs in the game. Oh my goodness, man. So muzzle is going to be the KGB Eliminator. So the Bullfrog is one of the very few guns in the game that I would actually advise using the Task Force barrel on. Now, the reason why is because we get the best of both worlds, because the stats actually make sense here as far as effective damage range and bullet velocity. Now, I understand the damage doesn't mean anything here, 34 to 35, but the damage range and bullet velocity are what I am after here. I want to have the best of both worlds, and that is a pretty significant improvement from 250 to 437, so bullet velocity is important. Take a look at the Liberator. It's 500 meters per second versus 437. You know, there really isn't that much of a jump right there, so I'd rather have like the best of both worlds in effective damage range and bullet velocity. And in season 1, they actually did buff the damage range. That's why, you know, adding more damage range to the already stock buffed damage range is going to make this thing an overall beast. Body is going to be the KGB designator. Underbarrel is the 𝗧𝗘𝗏 grip. Magazine is the 85 round fast mag. You can use whatever you want, but it's just a lot more fun using the 85 round fast mag because, you know, you don't really have to reload, which is the beautiful part about this setup. Handle is going to be the GRU elastic wrap. Stock is going to be the no stock attachment. Next setup here, we've got the infamous AK-74U, one of my personal favorites. If you guys are already subscribed, you guys know. Man, I don't even have to say it, man. Just go on my channel, look how many videos I've done on the 74U. No matter how you kit this weapon out, it is absolutely amazing. All right, so for muzzle, I'm going with the 𝗧𝗏𝗏 compensator, vertical recoil control right there. Barrel is going to be, of course, the Liberator barrel. Now, this is what makes the 74U so special. That 1000 meters per second in bullet velocity. Dude, you can challenge people at long range with this gun. It's absolutely insane. No other SMG comes close to this, except for another gun that I will be talking about very shortly. But as far as bullet velocity goes in the SMG category, this is king. Nothing comes close to it. That's why this gun is so good and used by so many pros. For the next attachment, we're running with the KGB target designator. Underbarrel is going to be the 𝗧𝗏𝗏 speed grip. Magazine is the 𝗧𝗘 mag clamp, where you can use whatever you want here. You can't really go wrong. Handle is going to be the 𝗧𝗘 elastic wrap. Stock is going to be the no stock attachment. Now for 5 attachments, remove stock, remove body, and then remove the optic, and bam, you got a really great AK-74U setup. All right, so for the next class setup, this is brand new to Season 2. I highly recommend y'all use this gun, and I'm going to give you a few short reasons why before we get into the class setup. The LC-10 is amazing. Very high bullet velocity for SMGs. Very good recoil control from long range. So this thing is very reliable, especially at long range. Very fast fire rate. All three of those combined make this gun very overpowered, and I really hope that they do not nerf this gun in the future. This will certainly add a lot of variety in multiplayer if people start using the LC-10, you know, instead of just using the AK-74U. You know, we're all tired of the 74U. Anyways, let's get into the class setup. So for the optic, I'm running with a Microflex LED. Typically, I don't normally, you know, advise using optics for most of the guns of the game, but with this gun, the iron sights are kind of trash in my opinion. I personally don't like it. If you like it, I'm sorry, don't mean to offend, but I'd rather use a sight on it. Muzzle is going to be the infantry compensator. Barrel is going to be the 14.5-inch Ranger. This is what makes it very special. 820 meters per second bullet velocity. This is a factual information here that I'm about to tell you. This is the second fastest bullet velocity available for SMGs, which is why this makes this gun an absolute contender, right behind the AK-74U. So we got to use the Ranger. Body is the soft target. Under barrel is going to be the SFOD speed grip. Magazine is the STANAG 55 round. Now, I feel the most comfortable running with the 55 round magazine, mainly because the aim down sight time is not that compromised, and also I'm able to hold at least 55 rounds per mag. This is huge, especially for a very fast fire rate weapon. You are going to run through your ammo pretty quickly, so this is the perfect medium in my opinion to keep both speed as well as functionality at the same time. Handle is going to be the serpent wrap, and stock is going to be the no stock attachment. All right, now if you do want to run with 5 attachments, I will recommend to remove the stock, remove the body. If you absolutely must have the optic on, then you can also remove the muzzle. You know, the muzzle, removing the muzzle isn't going to hurt. It's just going to, you know, take away, you know, having that extra vertical recoil control. Like I said, this gun is actually a laser, even stock. Now for the last gun of this video, the 𝗧𝗏 83, another Season 2 premiere. Dude, this is 100% the most reliable assault rifle I have used to date. All right, let's just get into it. Optic is going to be the Microflex LED. Muzzle is going to be the 𝗧𝗏𝗥𝗕𝗢𝗏 compensator. Barrel is the 19.5-inch Liberator. Dude, that says it all itself right there. That bullet velocity, 1350 meters per second. This is the fastest bullet velocity available for all assault rifles. It beats the Krig, it beats the XM4. I've said this in a previous video. This is basically the Krig and the XM4, you know, having a fusion together, and this is what happened. This is just absolutely nuts. And you will win a lot of gunfights, I promise you, if you use this class setup. All right, so body is going to be the KGB target designator. Underbarrel is going to be the 𝗧𝗏𝗥𝗕𝗢𝗏 speed grip. Magazine is the 40 round. You can use whatever you want, but personally, it depends on the size of the map. If you want more faster ADS on a smaller map, then definitely go with a magazine that doesn't really compromise your ADS. So an example would be the 40 round. Handle is going to be the serpent wrap, and stock is going to be the no stock. If I helped you out in some way, shape, or form and you found this video helpful, make sure to drop a like on the video. A like is appreciated. It shows me I'm doing something right. And make sure to subscribe if you're brand new around here to make your way back to the channel and officially join the Turbo Nation in our way to 150,000 subscribers. I really appreciate it. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Let's go, baby. Yo, if you guys are always on your computer all day, or you like to game for long sessions, definitely check out GamerAdvantage.com for these blue light blocking glasses. Quite literally the best blue light glasses that you can ever find on the market. Make sure to check out GamerAdvantage.com and just learn more about it, man. There's so many benefits to keeping your eyes nice and healthy. You won't feel that strain at the end of the day, and you'll go to sleep like a baby at the end of the day, and that's the best part. You won't feel tired at all. Definitely check out GamerAdvantage.com. Use code TURBO at checkout.